Hey Cancer, I'm Empress Rose. Welcome to your reading. These are general readings, so we take what works, sleep what doesn't. If I don't catch your storyline on this reading, go check your other major placements, and I'll be posting pictures of the spread at the end. So we're going to start off with this Oracle Mystical Moments deck to get an intuitive vibe of where we're going this week. Oh, Cancer. Alrighty. You don't want to talk about it? All right, Cancer. Oh my goodness. Okay. All right. Ooh la la. We have treasured memories. Something that you're really holding on to. It's from a more passionate time in your life. Something that you really loved. And you're looking to the future, hoping to replicate that moment, that memory. Yeah, you really loved that. I mean, that's one of the greatest things about our treasured memories and our loving memories is that they are there to remind us that we can experience that joy and that excitement, maybe not in that exact way, but we can enjoy that. And there may be a little stagnancy if we are expecting a rigid experience. It's exactly the way it was the last time I was here. I want the exact same meal, sit at the exact same table. You know, you can't cross the same river twice, obviously, right? So you've got this memory, and you're looking to the future. You're looking to sort of replicate some sort of thing like that, but it's very dear to you. You're not going to be letting it go anytime soon, and it's on your mind this week. One of the things about this deck, and maybe this doesn't need to be said, maybe it does, maybe it's obvious, I don't know, I can't tell what other people are thinking, so I just thought I'd talk about it. This deck in particular has a lot of it's very generous with its ideas, with wisdom, with concepts and all of that. It's a very generous deck. The tarot deck tells a story. We end up with our characters, our energies, and how they're all combining and working together. And it's sort of like a novel, and this is sort of like a poetry deck or something like that. And so the cards are relevant. Like everybody has treasured memories, you know, everybody has them. But for some reason, this deck wants you to pay attention to this part of your brain that's doing this week. And so there's something there for you. So that's what this deck is doing. It's highlighting these concepts. It doesn't necessarily tell a story the way the tarot might, but it highlights some concepts and ideas for you to pay particular attention to this week. It's saying, hey, pay attention to these treasured memories. What are they doing there? Why do you have them? What was so great about that? She's definitely looking into the future. She's taking this memory with her, but she also is like having an idea of maybe like, I want to do this again. I want to do something like this, you know. You know how Narnia, they never get to Narnia the same way twice. It's a little bit the same. Like you're not going to get there back to that sensation of that memory in the exact way, but those feelings are still available. That world is still available. You're just going to have to. I think they did get there the same way a couple times at the beginning of the series, and then it started changing as they grew older. I can't remember. It's been decades and decades since I read those. My children hated them, so I didn't read them to them. They did not like them. My daughter said, this is the kind of book, she was like 6 or 7, she was like, this is the kind of book that adults think children would like, but children actually don't. That was her opinion. And then we have House of Flowers. We have something that's very ordinary looking, kind of looks like a prison, a little bit, it's got some isolation to it, but something gorgeous is coming out of it. You know what? This is reminding me of coronavirus times and people being sort of isolated in their homes. It can be a really powerful time here. See, it's all isolated. There are some companions here. It's isolated, you're isolated in your home, but what's popping out is you've gotten in touch with who you are, with a lot of your essence, and it's very beautiful and it's very uncontainable by this experience, because that's what happens to when we have these periods of isolation. We get in touch with our own energy. We step out of this world where we have expectations and labels and roles that we play and things that are expected of us, that we just it kind of creates its own It's its own freeway that we all end up getting on, and it just kind of takes us. It reminds me of visiting Portland, because in Portland I always end up at the zoo. I don't know why. I've never been to the zoo. I just end up in the parking lot no matter which freeway I take, no matter which road I take, no matter what, it just ends me up there. So it's a little bit like our culture. It just kind of shuttles people off in one direction, and then this time of isolation helps you become the unique individual you are. It's also reminding me of cows, which I used to raise, and as individuals, if they get to be raised as individuals, they're very fascinating and interesting. But if you've got 500 of them, that's a big farm. If you've got 500 of them, they just all kind of seem like they're nobody. And I don't know if they really are just, I don't know, are they, or is it just there's so many of them you don't get to know each one individually? Or is it the dynamic that keeps them from actually developing their own individual personalities, which they do on a small hobby farm? I don't know. But anyway, it's a little bit, that's a little bit about humans too, is that our times of isolation and these kind of difficult grid-like existences, if we can take some time out of that and some isolation out of that, we end up really getting in touch with ourselves and blooming in the way that we were meant to bloom here. So there could be something popping out here, some emotion popping out of a typical grid-like sort of place, maybe something exciting happening at work, or some sort of creativity coming into a zone that really doesn't usually have creativity. But somebody's blooming here, and it's in an unexpected environment in an unexpected way. There may be a companion here. There may be just something that has looked very bland on the outside. And it's my Jane Eyre card, quiet, maybe a little boring on the outside, a riot of life and gorgeousness on the inside. So somebody's insides are popping out here, and it's going to be beautiful. All right, Cancer. This is your past, your present, your inner landscape. What's at issue? Your environment, your to-do list, and your possible outcome. Oh, yeah, there is something here. Some treasured memories for sure. Okay, in your recent past, you have this star card. So this is about being in the flow, maybe a little bit of notoriety. Not notoriety, I think that has, I don't know, a little bit of fame. Somebody might have been a star of something. But it's also my being in the flow, right where you need to be. And that's a little bit, it's the cheerleader card of like, go, go, go. You're right where you need to be. You're exactly where you're supposed to be. So in your recent past, you may have had this sensation. Maybe this is your treasured memory of that feeling of being exactly where you're supposed to be, of the world is right, you're in the flow, you're exactly where you need to be. And maybe there's some recognition here that you're doing a good job, that you are in the flow, but mostly, and it would be just from the universe or from your own sensations of like, oh, this is where I need to be. So in the recent past, you've had this star experience of being right where you need to be, maybe dipping your toes into some place where you are going to be going. So she's dipping her toe into the flow. So maybe you had this experience that ignited something in you, and you're like, oh, I want to go in that direction. You haven't had the opportunity yet to fully commit to that direction, but you're starting to dip your toe into some sort of idea, some sort of flow, some sort of path in your life, or maybe even relationship. You just dipped your toe in a little bit, and you're like, okay, interesting, and maybe got some internal hits of like, this is the direction you need to go, this is the path forward, but you've just had an early experience with that. In your present situation, you have the King of Wands, so this could be an actual person, male or female, that's in your current situation. This could be you, some sort of energy that you're embodying. A lot of strength, a lot of patience, a long-ranging vision, eagerness, some charisma, possibly very well-traveled, some sort of resurrection almost. There's a couple of cards here talking about a little bit of return, resurrection, that kind of thing. So he's intuiting for the whole kingdom. He's inspired. And he has ideas that benefit everyone. So that's the energy that's currently present in your life and situation. And then in your internal landscape, we have the Seven of Cups. You have an inner demon that's wreaking havoc on your emotions right now. There's something, and something needs to be revealed. I think you might be very worried about it, very afraid of it. There's something internal that's just a little bit scary. It threatens to upend the apple cart here. Threatening your emotional stability. So you're dealing with some sort of inner demon, maybe a secret that you'd like to reveal, or just are having trouble holding on to and holding that in. There was some sort of some sort of institution back here, maybe school, maybe church, university, job, something like that. But you're really wrestling with this inner demon. And maybe wanting to talk about it, maybe not sure you want to talk about it, maybe not sure you want to reveal yourself, worried about feeling vulnerable, that kind of thing. So you have some concerns going on. I mean, we all, like I said, this is what's popping out and what tarot wants you to pay attention to at this time, and this is what it's acknowledging and recognizing. It's important that you acknowledge that, or that you see that, or that it's talked about, or something like that, that this inner landscape issue is coming forward. I mean, because we're all dealing with our inner demons all the time, but for some reason this is part of this whole storyline here that you're dealing with this week. And what's at issue here is the Six of Wands, but it's reversed. So it might be some sort of humiliation, some sort of not getting the recognition that you thought you deserved, something that's good for you, but your community isn't really, you're worried your community isn't going to be happy about it. Maybe your community is happy about something you did and you are not happy about what you did. So there's something about you and your community and praise, or a lack of praise, or humiliation, because we take it in the reversal. In the upright, it's a really wonderful parade. Your success is our success. We're happy for you. You have succeeded in something. You're proud. Everybody's proud of, and you're representing our community really well. But it's the reversal. So maybe there's been some public humiliation. It's a parade gone wrong. Maybe people are yelling at you. Maybe it's an angry parade. Maybe so maybe you felt like you were in the flow, but you're not getting any external recognition of that you were actually in the flow, that this is the direction you need to be going. Maybe your community is not seeing, this direction here. And maybe this is about being worried about public humiliation, being worried about your community not being happy with something that you've done, or being just frustrated that you haven't been recognized and acknowledged for the work that you've done and your path, and clearly you've had some sort of experience where you're on the right path here. In your environment, we have a person, male or female, the Knight of Wands. We have somebody coming in with an offering, a new beginning. We've got the King of Wands up here in your present situation. And then externally, we have this could be the same person. We have the Knight of Wands or the Prince of Wands. Again, we've got the salamander, the renewal, the animal, the lizard version of the phoenix. And it's a fast-moving energy. It's very excited. It's a lively new offer, makes you feel alive and happy, and very excited. It might be a little unwieldy. There might be a little bit of wildness to the thing. Oh, it could be about this card, this stuff popping out here, this a little bit wild, inspired energy starting to pop out of what's been a very organized existence, proper existence, starting to pop out there. Your job, Page of Cups, getting curious about your emotions, getting curious about something that you feel that's surprised you in your emotional cup. Studying it, thinking about it, asking it why it's here. Sometimes a great visualization to do is, I feel angry about this. I thought I was gonna feel excited about this. Why would I feel angry? And then you're like, okay, anger, you're here. Why are you here? Can I get you some tea? Make yourself comfortable. open up. So this is about getting very curious about this fish. There may be like some emotional instability around you, and suddenly this bizarre thing. She's not scared of it. She's not running away. She's looking that fish in the eye, and she's very curious about it. So that's what you need to be. You need to be very curious about your feelings, very curious about your emotions. Whatever this inner demon is, perhaps the solution here is to this is an inner demon. Maybe it's actually just an inner fish, and it's really surprising, and you need to get curious about it. I mean, that's the best way to deal with an inner demon, is with curiosity, learning about what's going on, learning about your subconscious, learning about your fears, your anxieties, learning about them and examining them, revealing what's behind them. And there she is, getting very curious about this inner demon, about these emotions. Maybe that inner demon isn't so big and scary after all. Once you get used to it, or once you start asking questions of it and looking into it. What is it? What are these feelings? What are these fears? So that's your job this week, is get really curious about the emotions, especially the ones that seem to not fit. You know, I mean, like, if you got this taste of the path to come and the flow to come, what's this inner demon doing here? Is it going to be here? Is it here to prevent you from going on that flow, from going on that journey here? Because there might be an invitation to move forward, to flow here. And it could be the right path for you, but you might be having some fears, some self-doubt, something like that. And then a possible outcome here where you might be going, I love this card, because it's basically this card. Treasured memories, the past becomes the future. This deep, loving connection, very innocent vibe, you know, old friends, old relatives from long ago, where you were able to share quite easily and innocently. And there's a free communication, happy communication, imaginative communication, sharing, and something, you know, just a really, really happy home, and a happy, peaceful, creative time with you know, this childlike time, something from your childhood returning. So this can often talk about someone from your childhood returning to you, someone meeting up again with someone that you loved and got along with and you remember very fondly, and being able to rekindle that connection somehow. So might take you by surprise. It might be a result of you having examined some feelings that you have, and then maybe you move into being able to share freely and openly with someone from your past, or talk about it with someone close to you, or that was close to you at some point. So opening up some sort of relationship from the past. It's a beautiful relationship. So don't, you know, it's not a scary relationship. Maybe you're worried about it. Maybe you're worried it's going to be a big scary thing. But it's, if you approach with curiosity and with a quiet curiosity, this is where you might end up, where you get to go. And it might not be as scary as you're worried it is. All right, Cancer, I hope that was helpful for you. Thank you so much for your likes, subscribes, and comments. I very much appreciate them. I really do. I really like it. It's very fun to see what you guys think about these readings. So I hope you have a wonderful week. Thank you.